What's the word, chat? We got the RAQ baby. Goddamn, we got RAQ baby. Goddamn documentary. I ain't streaming in a minute because I've been working, but shit, probably gonna stream later today. Who knows? But yeah, let's get right into this, man.
The rise of RAQ Baby is one of the most insane stories that we have covered on this channel. From getting in multiple fistfights to being involved in a shootout to save his life after getting shot in the leg, RAQ Baby has made himself the top op from Chicago all the way down to Atlanta. After losing his friends to this gang war, RAQ would continue to confront anyone who questions his street credibility and is willing to kill over his fallen members.
That broke ass nigga out here box these bullets, man. You better box these bullets.
Atlanta police arrested 2 teens on Election Day and charged them with murder.
Oh, there's no video or no proof.
I guarantee it's coming to down.
Who's real hot? And my baby boy. And what happened to all him? He didn't tell you when all the other niggas died. He didn't tell you about him too.
All of the people involved in this heinous crime are in fact juveniles.
Woo!
RAQ Baby was born,
and I don't know shit about RAQ Baby, you feel me? So shit, this all new to me, so y'all let me know if this cap or not, you feel me?
around June 2005, and was also certainly raised in the RAQ. Well, for the most part. His dad was living off of 69th and Rockwell Street in Inglewood, but his mom, on the other hand, would live in Atlanta near MLK Jr. Drive and Pascal Boulevard. So this is really why you see so much crossover when it comes to RAQ Baby and his unique sound. Now here's where there's some confusion that sets in, because recently there has been some photos of RAQ Baby as a kid, hanging with celebrities like John Witherspoon and Nipsey Hussle when he was only 6 years old. RAQ Baby would admit yes. After his dad moved to LA for a while, RAQ had taken some child acting roles. He had done some commercial work, but most notably, RAQ was in a Snoop Dogg video titled Tired of Running, alongside with the late Nipsey Hussle. Although RAQ was enjoying life in LA, it would soon be short-lived. After turning 9 years old, he would move back to Chicago for a few months, only to relocate permanently to his mom's house in Atlanta. By the time RAQ was 10 years old, he had enough of this volatile life and would start expressing himself through his music. Now, some would say that music would keep them out of trouble, but for RAQ Baby, it would be the exact opposite. Soon, he would be tied in with some of the most notorious gangs in Atlanta. Not to mention, he still also had ties with Chicago's M Block. Around 11 to 12 years old, RAQ was hanging out with Anti Menace and Hen Dog, and he would start attending Lindley Middle School. This is around when he had claimed to have jumped off the porch. By 15 to 16 years old, RAQ says that he started to go to school on the west side, and that took his music and street credibility to a new level, and started to hang with a gang called 952, while also working at McDonald's, dropping his first official song in July 2021 titled Hen Dog, which is at over 22,000 views to date. This song, RAQ would say, is his favorite song that he's ever made, after only getting 1,000 views in the first month. The opening intro, we see a 16-year-old RAQ Baby, which he was also going by 952 RAQ at the time, or Lil RAQ, acting out a robbery. We would also see him acting out another shooting for his video titled Slide Down, which is at over 19,000 views to date. But it wasn't until 2022 that things started to get really dicey. Remember that RAQ Baby has ties with M Block in Chicago. Well, we all know who the most known crash out from M Block is, Bando KD. And it was in March 2022 when RAQ Baby would get news that Bando KD was on the run for a murder of a 12-year-old little girl. It would turn out that he was shooting at the ops with a switch, and the little girl would be hit while in a vehicle nearby. Although he would not be caught, and would be out dropping music and doing interviews, and more than likely catching more bodies. RAQ Baby would continue to drop more music, but this time with his longtime friend Anti Menace. In 2022, RAQ Baby dropped 3 visuals amounting in over 700,000 views total. One titled Gun Sounds that did over 400,000 views alone. Then in December 2022, RAQ would get some more devastating news. One of his young homies, Lil Hot, would be shot in the head by his own friend, Lil Rodney. Lil Rodney and 6 others would be arrested for the murder of Lil Hot, Ola Cam, and the murder of other young teens of Atlanta.
Teenagers are in jail right now charged with murdering 2 other teens. It's a big break in a case we've been following since it happened a week and a half ago. Atlanta police say the shooting near Atlantic Station was gang-related.
Atlanta police arrested 2 teens on Election Day and charged them with murder in the shooting that occurred on 17th.
I remember when this shit happened, bro. I remember seeing this shit. Did I cut myself? Nope.
Street, just feet away from a popular Atlantic Station. It's where 12-year-old Zion Charles and 15-year-old Cameron Jackson were murdered. Police say both suspects have opened up.
Now we've lost 4. young boys.
And Atlanta police told us today that all of the people involved in this heinous crime are in fact juveniles.
RAQ would later pay tribute in his song titled I Miss Lil Hot. After this, RAQ Baby would start to put his all into his music and started dropping songs that would put him on the map in a major way. In 2023, RAQ Baby would put out a modest 18 visuals with 3 projects. Not to mention, the views on his music videos amounted to over 12 million views in total, with fan favorites like Soldier Love, where I believe at the beginning of this video, RAQ is on FaceTime with Will from Taylor Gang. Let me know in the comments if I'm right about that, and don't forget to like and subscribe. But we can't forget about mentioning Automatic, which would put RAQ Baby on the radar and even get the famous Honcho to jump on a remix. It was at this moment that RAQ would put out his debut project titled Maniac Babe, following along with El Peligro and Bloody Holiday. RAQ Baby was the hottest name in the street at this point, and it was undeniable. Labels fighting hand over fist, which eventually later he would choose to sign with Alamo Records. Although 2023 was RAQ Baby's biggest year yet, there would also begin to be plenty of controversy surrounding him at this time, when his op, LaThrode, would post an alleged photo of RAQ in a jail cell with his head in the toilet. There would also be claims that he was a rat, in which RAQ would then take to IG Live to address these claims.
Bro, there's no video or no proof of a nigga doing none of that. Why do y'all gotta cover up everything? And that's me just showing.
But in 2024, RAQ was back in the studio again, doing what he loves, dropping about 21 more visuals, amounting in over 35 million views. RAQ Baby at this point is a music machine. In 2024, his most viewed videos are Dead Bodies and More Maggots, which is at over 4.8 million views, and My Bitch, which is at over 5.2 million views. Not to mention 3 more projects, titled Obtruse, which he would later drop the deluxe for, and the famous Spill Season, which would be released under Alamo Records. RAQ Baby was on top of the world at this point, but he still would not allow that to stop him from putting you in your place. Well, I mean, that is until RAQ would find himself in a shootout in the middle of a liquor store, and after getting shot in the leg, he would open fire to make his getaway, and it was all caught on camera. At this point, RAQ Baby has been so viral that he's getting support from the biggest rappers in the game, like Scrooly G and the one and only Lil Baby. We would also see RAQ post a photo on M Block where he grew up, and would frequently visit his friends DIY and Bando KD. At this time, in September 2024, Bando KD would be arrested and charged for the murder of that 12-year-old little girl back in 2022. RAQ Baby and DIY would both react on their Instagram stories. Now, this year in 2025, RAQ Baby has continued to drop heat. While so far he has dropped about 8 visuals, which my favorites are Belt Boys, which is at 3.4 million views, and 34 Blicks in Miami, which is at over 1.2 million views to date. Also, RAQ dropped his project, More Spill, back in March. So I mean, overall, RAQ Baby has not only worked his ass off to get to where he is today, he has also fought tooth and nail to defend his spot. Although he was involved in jail, shootouts, and gang violence, RAQ has continued to put out incredible music at an insane rate. And in my opinion, he might have some industry friends, but nowhere near an industry plant himself. RAQ Baby is as authentic as they come, and has also recently announced that he has a kid on the way. So in that case, I hope he stays out of trouble and continues to pursue music, because he's definitely one of the most talented rappers that we've covered on this channel. And I encourage you all to go check out more of his music and let them know that I sent you. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey, that shit.
Scrooly G.
Oh shit, this nigga. Yo, pause. Alright, chat. I'm gonna catch y'all maybe later tonight. Maybe, I don't know. I'm tired. Alright, we'll see.